Welcome back from that commercial break. And for those of you just tuning in, welcome to City Talks with Reuben Abati on your number one lifestyle station, City 1051. And I remain your host, Reuben Abati. And today we've been discussing the topic, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Chicago State University certificate controversy. And I have with me in the studio the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity.
City Talks with Reuben Abati.
Dr. Abati, and viewers at home, and listeners at home rather, you can attend the school and not graduate. That is why you have, for whatever reason, that's why you have somebody dropped out of school. Of course, some of the leading inventors and billionaires around the world, some of them did not graduate from their school. But that doesn't stop them from achieving or attaining the success they wanted to achieve in life. But here is it. So President Tinubu did not just attend Chicago State University, he graduated. And the university has insisted under oath through the registrar, Caleb Westberg, that this man, the same man that is the president of Nigeria, actually attended, graduated with honors.
Okay. Now, the question that people are asking is that during the deposition, that the same Westberg said that the copy of the certificate that was submitted to INEC did not come from Chicago State University. And on the basis of that, members of the opposition are saying that it follows, all things being equal, that the copy that was submitted to INEC must be a forged copy.
So the point again is, there is no basis to forge a degree certificate that you earned. So I'm trying to understand the logic behind the argument.
No, the logic is that, Westberg, having stated in his deposition that certificate, the INEC copy, did not emanate from the school. And I think, that has to be clarified.
Okay, the same where Caleb Westberg also said, and it's a usual practice in America, and he actually said, to use his exact word, that demanding for certificate is a Nigerian thing. That what validated a studentship or in any school or the evidence of graduation from a school is the transcript. However, he now said they don't have a policy. If reading through the transcript of the deposition, the university and most American universities do not have a practice of replacing lost certificate. So they have a process of, if you need certificate, they've already outsourced it to a third-party vendor. So what they are saying is, the third-party vendor, if you lost your certificate, you apply to the third-party vendor, you pay the application fee, they issue you one. And he also said that nobody should expect that any certificate at all from the university today we have the same font, or this, because some of the argument of article where they were alleged for forgery, the font was it's not the same logo. In any case, how do you know that the font or logo is not the same as the one issued by University of Chicago? Do you have the original? Do you know the way it was? So, and that was why the registrar said there had been 15 registrars since 1979. I think it's the 15th registrar now since 1979. So you don't expect, if I apply to University of Ife today, where I graduated today for my document, nobody should expect that the dean of faculty or the vice chancellor or registrar that signed my certificate in 2001 when I graduated will be the one that will sign it today when those people or those personnel have already left the university system. So it is the people that are sitting in office now are the one that will respond to any inquiries. They are the one that will validate or sign any document.
Okay, so why is it that President Tinubu's counsel, Henderson and Wale Afolabi, had to go to Justice Judge Maldonado's court in seeking a review of the ruling of the lower court to plead severe and irreparable damage. So, I mean, members of the opposition are saying, what kind of severe and irreparable damage will result from somebody just asking, I want to know the academic records of this man, to use it in a foreign jurisdiction?
See, I think of course, I will say that's one of the legalists that lawyers always bring up. I think they just don't want they want to deny them the player. That is for me. That is me speaking as not being a lawyer, but following trends and events. I think it's just to deny them the pleasure of not having it easy. In any case, and there are precedents. During 2008, when former President Obama was running for election, some Republicans also assaulted him. They accused him of different things, questioning his birth certificate, his academic record. They also went to court. He also put some legal equivalencies that you can't just violate my privacy. I have the privilege of my record. So I think even former President Trump, that was one of the people that was assaulting and assailing Obama about his result, about his birth certificate, when it was his own time, when he was running for office, and people were also making a demand on his own record, he also put some legal equivalencies before them. So really, I think it's just a way of not just giving people pleasure to just have their way. I don't think that's any issue. There's no so much to be attached to that, because really, the president had nothing to hide, and there's no reason, because he actually attended and graduated from the university.
Okay, let's talk about former Vice President Atiku Abubakar. He held a press conference, and at that press conference, he said, "Well, the reputation of Nigeria is at stake, and that he is interested in truth, democracy, justice, and to protect the rule of law." He also called on other opposition groups, Rabiu Kwankwanso of the NNPP, Peter Obi of the Labour Party, and other lovers of democracy to join him in exposing President Tinubu. And he said, well, he will not stop until the Supreme Court has ruled on the matter, and that whatever decision the Supreme Court arrives at, he will abide by it. Is it right to say that Nigeria's reputation is at stake, and that is really what he's fighting for?
I think Nigeria's reputation is not at stake here. It is actually the reputation of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar that is at stake. For someone who has occupied the second highest office in Nigeria, there's a level of decorum, there's a level of decency, and even for someone who aspired, having served as number 2 before, you're aspiring to be number 1, so you know the enormity of that office, you know the respect, the dignity, because the occupant of that office is the sovereign. So if you had worked as vice president for 8 years, you know the worth of that office. Even if you aspire to that office, of course we know why he's fighting tooth and nail, because he saw the last election as his last chance of ever realizing his ambition of ruling Nigeria as president. So if he chose to generate controversy just to malign the current president, it reflects poorly on him, not President Tinubu, because you are just creating a storm where none exists. So he's the one that is actually, if anybody is dragging, if he actually cares about Nigeria's reputation, he shouldn't have embarked on this worthless voyage. See, so, in 2000 and was it 2000 and Agor, when he ran for election to succeed President Clinton and the Bush senior, when there was controversy on Florida, Agor actually won the majority vote, so they had to do a recount in Florida, 5,000 or less than how many thousand votes. So the reason Argo said, and I remember Argo came to Nigeria for Osigwe annual lecture, almost immediately after the Clinton presidency. And we asked him in his private suite at a hotel, why didn't you challenge the election knowing that you had a case? You know what he said, Dr. Abati? He said, the American presidency, the White House is bigger than anybody, than any occupant, and bigger than anybody that aspires to occupy it. That he will not bring America to disrepute. It will not diminish the moral authority of that office by suggesting, and America is the biggest promoter of democracy around the world. So if I now mount a legal challenge that election in America was rigged, I would have damaged America around the world. So that was why he took a moral high ground not to challenge the outcome and allow. So what I'm trying to say in essence is, this country is bigger than anybody. So if Alhaji Atiku had chosen to drag the name of the country in the mud by going to outside jurisdiction to create a storm, knowing that it's not going to get anything out of it, just to create a crisis or legitimacy crisis, then it is him that is on trial, not President Tinubu.
But how can you be sure he's not going to get anything out of it? His lawyers have said, look, this discovery is for use, and that they're going to approach the Supreme Court of Nigeria to plead exceptional circumstances and ask that the man whose election was upheld by the Presidential Election Tribunal forges certificate. But you seem to be sure, and many of the lawyers on the Tinubu side also seem to be sure that nothing will come out of it. What is that confidence based upon?
Well, I think it's not just the lawyers on President Tinubu's side. I think if you have reviewed or listened to many senior lawyers who have intervened across different public fora with their views and analysis of, I think it's a preponderance of opinion that what Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is pursuing, even if he's able to present it before the Supreme Court. I'm not a lawyer. They use their term. It has no probative value. So really, they also senior lawyers have also said, what you didn't plead at the
court of first instance.
At the court of first instance, you can't plead it at upstairs
at the
appellate court. So if for whatever reason, even the justices at the Supreme Court allow him to even plead it or present as a fresh fact that he didn't have before now, even if they allow, I don't see how this will serve his end or what he's looking for. Because what he want to claim is somebody did not, if a president did not graduate from a university, that the same university had insisted under oath, they have shown you his academic record, and you are saying because certificate does not, they said the hood does not make a monk. The certificate, the paper, it's not the evidence of graduation, of satisfying academic requirement for a degree. It is not. It is you taking your number of courses and passing them. And the university awarding you, Dr. Abati, you have a PhD. You once work as a university don. You know the process. That if any of your former students at Ogun State University, if they didn't, or University of Calabar, or any other university where you had lecture around the world, you know, even if you pass all your courses for a degree and you fail one, you know student will still not graduate. You either have extra semester.
If it's a compulsory course.
If it's a compulsory course, you will have extra section or extra semester. So even if you pass all your courses, if you fail one compulsory course, you will still not graduate. But we are talking of a man who passed all his courses with flying colors, and somebody is saying a certificate presented to INEC is the basis upon which his degree will be determined. That doesn't make sense. There is no such practice anywhere in the world. In any university, there is no such.
Okay, the argument that some people are putting on is the moral argument. They are saying that, yes, okay, even if there is no consequential damaging effect at the Supreme Court level, but that this controversy on its own will have damaged the reputation of President Tinubu and will have raised questions about the legitimacy of his administration. And they base their argument on the fact that this controversy about his certificate has been there for more than 25 years. And that, look, today is a government college, Ibadan, that they are talking about. Now is government college, Lagos. Then discrepancies in date of birth, and then doubts about whether he's female or male. And that all of this, would raise doubts in the mind of the average Nigerian electorate, and that we may be dealing not with issues of law, but issues of morality and legitimacy. What do you think?
Yeah, I actually don't think there's any legitimacy or moral question beyond. It is the opposition, like Atiku Abubakar, that is trying to instigate all of this just to create a pall of doubt. See, he has lost. Nigerians roundly rejected him. He's the longest running presidential aspirant and candidate. He has pursued this ambition, which has become an obsession for him for more than 30 years. The last election appeared to him to be his brightest and best chance. Unfortunately, his party went to the election with a divided house. He lost 5 governors. He lost Kwankwaso. So all his support base, he depleted it himself by his own act of omission and commission. Then the biggest block vote bank for that would have been for him and his party was the Southeast. The man who was his running mate in 2019, he couldn't hold him. The man left. That man depleted and decimated his vote across the country. So he practically had no. So it was a self-inflicted injury. So having performed poorly, having lost his last chance, Abubakar is about 77 now. In another 4 years, when there will be another election, it will be 81 years. Maybe we want to run for election that we don't know. But the point is, this is his last kick. This is his last chance. So he's trying to muddle up the waters. He's trying to generate a lot of heat in the polity. That is what he's trying to do. It's not. There's no moral argument here. The issue is about. It's not a statement. The moral argument is actually for him to answer as a statesman, as a former vice president. Why will you deliberately want to diminish through disinformation, through misinformation? Why you want to diminish the presidency of your country? The same office you aspire for, the same country you hope to lead, whether now or in another 8 years.
Okay. Well, on this program, we usually throw the lines open and allow other people to express their views through the various channels available. But before we do so, let me ask you again. People have been saying, why is it that when President Tinubu was submitting his academic credentials to INEC this time around, he didn't include primary school, he didn't include secondary school, he just included his university certificate? And there are some Nigerians who have been saying, we want to know which primary school he attended, which secondary school, which university. Okay, they know that now. And why is it that previously he mentions Chicago University, now he's mentioning Chicago State University? Which Chicago University in real terms.
Chicago State University.
Okay.
That is where he graduated from. The same university has come forward to say and to validate and to reiterate that he is their student. As they actually call him one of their honorable or most honored students who have gone out to do great things. So his university, the university is actually proud of him as a former student who is now a president of the biggest black country in the world.
Okay, on that note, Temitope Ajayi, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity. We'll take a short break now, and when we return, we'll throw our lines open, and you can join us on 07001051 1051, and also on WhatsApp 09099164403, and via social media accounts at City1051 on Zoom, Instagram, and Facebook. We'll be right back after this break.
City Talks with Reuben Abati.
Welcome back from that commercial break, and for those of you just tuning in, welcome to City Talks with Reuben Abati on your number one lifestyle station, City 1051. And I remain your host, Reuben Abati. And today we've been discussing the topic, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's Chicago State University certificate controversy. And I have with me in the studio the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity. His name is Temitope Ajayi. As I said earlier, remember to join us on 07001051 1051 and on WhatsApp 09099164403 and on social media accounts City1051 on Zoom, Facebook, and Instagram. Our lines are now open. Who is the first caller on the line? Thank you very much for joining us. Hello, your name, your location. Please go ahead. Yes.
Good afternoon. My name is Topper from Sangota.
Thank you for joining us.
Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
Yes,
Our
sir.
guest is listening.
What I want to say is that I think we are taking this matter just too far, and some of us, we know the truth, but we are just trying to downplay, and we don't care. We don't care to destroy the image of the nation in the eye of the international community. That we are still trying to get our stick back. The president had already proven to Nigeria and Atiku and other people that he actually graduated from the school, and the school had come out to confirm it. I wonder why this pursuit has not come to an end. That people are just saying a lot of things on social media, and the worst thing is that most of these people that are saying all this, some of them, they have brothers, they have uncles abroad, and they are the ones that will suffer this more. Because when you think that you are destroying the nation, you will not know that you are indirectly destroying yourself. Because that will never be a patriotism. When all we can say is negative things. How many of these countries around us, they don't have their own challenges? Especially even the US. A lot of things that happen there, you will not see them coming out saying all those kind of things about their nation. Even though if you don't like someone, I can point to someone, Mr. Reno. At least it's not that the man is an APT, but at least he believes that patriotism is all about your nation. It's not that because I don't like Mr. Reuben Abati, therefore I have to destroy him because I don't want him to be my president or whatever. We just take this matter lightly. Somebody did not graduate. We have seen the results. First of all, we went to university and we know what it takes to get those kind of A's and B's. So what then are we looking for? This is just more like chasing shadow. We should allow this man to concentrate and do the right thing for us so that the country can move forward and so that we can leave this page of a distraction that we have put everybody into. Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. Well, via Zoom, I see Dr. Boniface Chizia's hand up on the laptop in front of me here. Dr. Chizia, please go ahead. Hello. Good afternoon. I'm fine, sir. Thank you. Can the engineer please raise the volume so that we can hear him in the studio? Hello, can you hear Dr. Chizia? Please go ahead, sir.
Okay, well, I hope you hear me. Well, Reuben, my first concern is the fact that this matter is in court. And if this matter is in court, really, what runs through my mind is to say, these discussions we are having, is it really, is it legit? Is it really? I see it's all over the place. And then people are being threatened. I read in the social media that Reuben, that at Ajayi station, that you've received some caution. I don't know well, you confirmed that now to me, but I read that you received some caution over some of the statements and interviews that people have granted on your channel. So I think that, again, that's one. But I think that this country is hurting. We have lots of problems. We need some stability. And the earlier this matter is resolved, the better for all concerned. So those are my first comments. But I think that to a large extent, there are lots of sentiments about this matter. We are not concentrating on what the matter is really. What the matter is the paper submitted to INEC. It was the correct paper, that's all. So you submit the paper. And in Nigeria, we deal with certificates. We don't deal with transcripts. And it's not whether, in fact, the issue is not whether our president attended the university or not. The issue that we should focus properly, if this matter must be discussed, is the paper he presented to INEC. Is that paper genuine? And that paper is not genuine for whatever reason it might be. Whatever excuses, then that has offended the laws of this country. So that's the issue. So like I said earlier on, whether in fact Supreme Court won't admit this, they might say something that they didn't come from below and so on and so forth. But I believe that we're missing the target. So, and we are dissipating lots of energy and discussing this matter, because really the issue is about certificates, not about whether President actually attended the university said he attended. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Chizia. Looks like we have another caller on the line. We'll just take these calls and allow our guests to respond. Your name, your location.
Good afternoon, Dr. Abati.
Good afternoon.
My name is...
Hello? Who is on the line?
YS, calling from Amuwo-Odofin.
YS from Amuwo-Odofin. If you could just turn down the volume of your radio so that we can hear you clearly.
Yes, can you hear me now?
Yes, there's an improvement.
Okay. You see, as it is now, I know, it seems to me, this is the last battle for our school. Go in there to find out whether our president is a student of that university or not. It's going there for your personal gain. We are looking for the best candidates here who secured the majority vote. They left that one in Nigeria here, go in there in another country to go and to kiss Nigeria, which is not so palatable. Now, as it is now, all of us at the Mayo studio was telling us that Mr. President is okay. The university recognized him. Article was giving us another fashion. Who will now bear the card now? It's the Supreme Court. All of us now wait for Supreme Court to determine the fate of Mr. President. If he fought the certificate, did he attend the university? Let the Supreme Court now decide. But by going to prison, even though the press conference of Ajayi, he just supposed to have it. You have your document, take it to the thing. But now calling for conference for what? If somebody wants to fight for Nigeria today, I think it's not the struggle like article. Because he said through about the job book, he has his skeleton, he's so on board. Good afternoon to you, Doctor.
Well, thank you very much. That's YS from Amuwo-Odofin. But just before I ask our guests to respond to some of the points that have been raised, this is from WhatsApp. Adegboyega Adedeji. He says, I want to salute the effort of Alhaji Atiku Abubakar in pursuit of justice and clarity. And for some that think this journey wasn't necessary, those persons are those who do not want Nigeria to move forward. The truth is that there's so much secrecy surrounding our president, and it is unfortunate Rather than moving us forward, the insincerity of Mr. President not coming plain with his personal information and certificate is drawing us backwards. Nigeria at this juncture needs a role model, a leader that will make a positive change in the country, not this. Dr. Abati. Adewega Adedeji. That's the name of the person. Well, let me come back to you quickly, Temitope Ajayi, to respond to some of these issues. Two different views on both sides from the four persons that have spoken to us. For and against, as expected. Your take.
Yeah, my take is for the first two callers. I align with their sentiment that the country is being unnecessarily eaten up by Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, and that this is a needless distraction for a president that inherited a very volatile economic situation. Nigerians voted for him on the basis of his renewed hope manifesto, which promised Nigerians a better life. Nigerians expect the president to work to improve their standard of living, improve infrastructure, make their life generally better, provide uninterrupted electricity, improve the economy, and improve their life generally. That is what Nigerians voted him for. So if Alhaji Atiku Abubakar had decided to create this distraction, I think it shows that Alhaji Atiku Abubakar does not really wish this country well. And for the two other callers, who one of whom said that was asking about the genuineness of the president's certificate. Like I said earlier.
No, he said his certificates were interested in Nigeria, not transcripts. And that the genuineness of the certificate submitted to INEC is the issue.
No, there is no issue about the certificate submitted to INEC. There is none. The university had said that they don't have policy of replacement for lost certificates, and that even if anybody needed one, they have a third-party vendor that has the authority of the university to give one after you have paid the necessary fee. That is the practice in America. That was why the registrar said this certificate issue is a Nigerian thing. And I think that speaks to an issue that is like saying why they can't even believe in America that anybody should make an issue about paper. So what I'm saying is certificate is not what determines whether you went to a university or graduated. They say the who does not make a monk. It's not the certificate. It's just the paper. That one is just ceremonial. And the university has not said anywhere. And I challenge anyone to go and read the entire deposition. There is no part where the registrar said what the president submitted to INEC is fake or was forged. He admitted that they have third-party vendor. It's like the university had already contracted that service. It's a service that the university had contracted to a vendor, knowing that people could come back for replacement, having lost. Of course, all of us, we have lost one certificate, one document, or the other, that when we need a replacement, we go back to EU institution. So the university had already farmed that service out to a third-party agent. So what the registrar was saying is, I have not seen what the president presented to INEC, but I can validate that a third-party agent or vendor has the authority of the university to EU. And in any case, it's like going for American or UK visa. You go through VFS. That is not the embassy. They are the one that will process your document on behalf of the embassy. The embassy has given them a mandate.
Okay, I see we have more people trying to join this conversation. Via WhatsApp, we have Saeed Barua. Saib Aroa says, good afternoon, Dr. Abati and Mr. Ajayi. I believe at this point, both sides should bury the hatchet and let's move forward for the greatness of the country. Regards, Tokpai, to your family. We both went to Ife. So this is somebody who knows you, who went to Ife with you. And then this person, John Ari, that's his name, says, good afternoon. I listened to a journalist yesterday who graduated from Chicago State University. I know has been writing about how corrupt the institution has been, with one scandal after the other. What he said that shocked me the most is that the yearbook of all graduating students in the archives was seen, except the one for 1979. Also, the social security number used to apply for admission does not belong to the president. The documents submitted by INEC contains the wrong logo and wrong signatures. So I don't understand what your guest is saying, John Ari. So this is one person disagreeing vehemently with you. But let's take this call. Your name, your location. Hello. Looks like we lost that caller. Okay. Hello.
Hello, Mr. Reuben.
Yes, good afternoon. Please turn down the volume of your radio.
I'll turn it down.
Two people can be talking to us at the same time. Good afternoon. Yeah.
Evangelist Emmanuel, calling from Abati.
Please go ahead. Please go ahead.
Please, sir. I want to thank you about it. Hello.
Yes, please go ahead.
I want to thank you, Mr. Reuben Abati, for your good work. I would people if I finish my investment, I want to for what is this? And bring your
Hello, the line is not so clear. I'm sorry, we couldn't hear you very well in the studio. Looks like someone else is on the line. Hello?
Hello, Dr. Reuben.
Yes, okay.
And I did your really brilliant and analytical discussion there.
Thank you.
This is Dr. Moses and follow. Yeah, I just acquired my doctorate and I'm proud of it.
Thank you, Doctor.
Look, we can't afford to drag the nation at the behest of one man's desperation. Look, all that Elijah Bucket I have high respect for. As a matter of fact, if I ever go into politics, I want to read the books that center on his political aspirations. How it's still relevant 30, almost 40 years since 1992, during Abiola days. I want to know. So I give that to him. But look, I've learned something about life in my 5 decades and plus living. Your relevance in life does not mean because you occupied an office. Take Benjamin Franklin, for example, the man that owns the $100 in America. He was never America's president. But anywhere you mention Thomas Jefferson today, George Washington, you will mention him in the same breath. So must you be president? I don't get it. Because this has gone beyond just anything political. This is personal and petty. Because look, the mystery behind Tinubu is human. He's not a saint. None of us is. But once we go this level, I will forever commend Al Gore in 2001. He knew that he actually could drag the American presidency, but he let go. So the America is still standing, and Al Gore is still very relevant. If you talk of anything global warming today, so who says that you will not edge your name? I can't think of the greatest history politicians in the history of Nigeria, and I will not put Atiku there. I think from the days of Awolowo, as I'm talking of 50 from different generations. So who says they are never relevant? But going this low is shameful, honestly. I never had a horse in the race. Because if I go by what I see, Lagos APC, I live in Lagos, I don't want to touch that party with a long pole. But this man is there already. Because the university confirmed I'm an education, so I know what obtains there. Your transcript supersedes every other thing. I once had an issue with some people who were doubting my credentials. I never gave them the pleasure in the first place. Eventually, the magistrate court were approached, compelled me that I must finish some things, which I eventually did. But I did give them the easy ride You didn't send me to school, so you had no right to come and tell me, I should submit. This is not FOI. I'm for goodness sake. So please, allow Atiku. You earn your place in history. Like, if there is ever a powerful vice president in the history of Nigeria, you earn that role. The man that shook Obasanjo, so who said that Obasanjo considered for him at the primary. So what else do you want? Your name is made. As I said, Benjamin Franklin never became president. But today, top of the most important figures in American history, you mention his name. You have earned your place of that. So don't demean yourself with these frivolous and petty search. You're only disgracing Nigeria. Good afternoon, guys.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Thank you. Well, we take more voices. Good afternoon, Dr. Abati and the guest. It is not about hatred, partisanship, tribal sentiment, or distraction of the president. The reported discrepancies on the president's certificate should be investigated thoroughly if such evidences of discrepancies are admitted by the Supreme Court. This fight is not about Atiku, in my opinion. It is a fight against bad image of our country, and any leader should be a good example to the end, to the lead. Yinka from Efako, Ajayi. Now, this is Amos from Agege. Amos Agege says, good afternoon. I'm not a card-carrying member of any political party, but I really love a country where peace and the rule of law exists. Late Gani Faweme shouted about this same man, Tinubu's certificate. Even Keyamo did same some years ago, before he's now being economical with the truth, due to the fact that his speech is tent with Tinubu and APC. I can mention quite a number of people I graduated with, even in other departments while I was in school. Can our president do the same? This whole saga is bringing a bad light to the image of Nigeria and Nigerians. Please ask your guest if he can employ someone with such certificate saga as the president into his company. Amos from Lagos. We take this final call and then I'll go back to our guest before we begin to wrap up. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Doctor. Nice work you're doing, and thank you very much. You see, your guest there said something that Nigerians voted for this man en masse. Nigerians voted. I don't know where he got that from. And then they want to give us better life, better this, better that. Which way? There's no way forward that we are seeing that there's any better thing coming our way. Today, everybody is growing under the hardship of this economy. And it's even getting worse by the day. They're telling us a better life, light, electricity. Why? Why they keep on deceiving us? They will be seeing black and be turning it white. Even there, he's still saying it widely. That this man came to. Why? Why are politicians this wicked? Why can't they just let better people, somebody who has good qualification background to rule us in this country? Nigeria is a great country. I don't know why we're in this intrigue, honestly. We should just let this thing get out of our system and let Nigeria be better. Please, let them leave this thing. I rest my case.
Okay, thank you very much. That's all we'll be able to take in terms of interventions from our listeners and viewers and persons who joined on social media. Let me now come back to you, as you begin to summarize and respond to some of these issues that have been raised. Temitope Ajayi, Senior Special Assistant to the President on Media and Publicity. Over to you.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Abati. Of course, we have listened to callers and those who reacted via social media. Of course, some are for, some are against, which is expected. I think, again, I want to say that the reason why Alhaji Atiku embarked on this expedition to nothingness, I would say, is just to energize his base, to give them a hope that he still has a chance. But we know that he doesn't have any chance. The appeal court or the court of first instance deliver a profound judgment. In fact, one of the lawyers said that Atiku probably filed the most useless electoral petition in history of Nigeria because he was actually practically asking for nothing. So what he didn't get at the poll, and what he didn't get at the tribunal, I don't know how he hoped to get it at Supreme Court. by embarking on this fruitless exercise. He just wants to energize his base and to give them hope. But we know he has nothing. Again, President Tinubu is determined to change the course of this country. He's determined to make life better for Nigerians. He's trying to give us a better economy. He has started, and the whole world had applauded the initial steps he has taken into repositioning the economy, into correcting some of the fiscal distortions in our economy, into correcting the arbitrage in the monetary policy. So Nigerians just need to cooperate with him. We need to support him to deliver. And he has a history of performance. Lagos is moving forward today because of he laid the grand vision, and he developed the template that is driving Lagos up till now. Just last month, the Lagos state government launched the Blue Rail metro line. By first quarter, they are going to launch the red line. They are improving public transportation in Lagos, improving education, improving healthcare delivery. These are the things that this man put on ground, that the successive governor in Lagos State had built on. And he's ready to do the same for the country. There is a 20 trillion tax revenue gap that this country has annually. And this man has set up a presidential committee on tax and fiscal policy reform, headed by one of the most brilliant technocrats in the industry, Taiwo Oyedele. And they are saying in the next 4 years, they are going to close that gap. And we know part of our problem as a country today is revenue problem. And if a government that doesn't have revenue cannot provide social services to the citizen. So, and even as a governor of Lagos State, the president saw that. That was why he re-engineered the finances of the state. Today, Lagos State is better for it. This man is a financial engineer. He knows how to handle public finance. And he has started it. He needs our support. He doesn't need distraction from Alhaji Atiku Abubakar and PDP. And Atiku is now rallying Kwankwaso Obi. He could not rally them before election. It is now that they have all lost that he's not rallying them. To do what? He's just energizing mobsters. He's just trying to gather mobsters to be assailing the president. We don't need it now. This country needs respite. Election has been won and lost. This is the time for governance, and this country needs to move. And Alhaji Atiku should allow this country to move. We need to heal. Of course, we know election can be divisive. But after election, people come back together, we bind wounds, because at the end of the day, this country is bigger than everybody. This president is ready to work for Nigerians, and Alhaji Atiku should not distract him. Thank you, Reuben Abati. Dr. Abati.
Well, on that note, I would like to thank you very much, Temitope Ajayi, for joining us on City Talks with Reuben Abati today, here on City 1051 FM. And I also like to thank all the persons who called in to express their own views on the subject before us, and those who also reach out to us on Zoom and Facebook. Remember, the conversation does not end here. You can still reach out to me on my social media account at Abati 1990 on Instagram, and also via City 1051 at City 1051 on all social media platforms. For those of you who tuned in late, there's no need to worry. You can visit our YouTube page, City 1051, to watch the entire show. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button and leave comments when you do so. And don't forget also to tune in next week at 12 noon for another exciting edition of City Talks. My name is Reuben Abati. The show was produced by Charles Flames, Oluwaseun Adetitun, Ayodamola Oludara, Oluwatobiloba Samson, and Abiodun Odunton. Have a great weekend. Thank you for listening. Bye for now.